Hello, 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 hello. Papa and I are making a video with blue jello. A video with blue jello. And the music by Johann Sebastian Bach. Ralf Kirschbaum, I think Ralf is his name, playing the cello. And I wanna, before I get started with my rant, I wanna say that happiness is real appreciation of everything. I'm not saying that we need to appreciate a terrible headache or something, but what we need to do is we need to be willing to sit with whatever is in meditation. But you know what is meditation? Meditation is sitting with the now, being in the now. That's meditation. Meditation is not something fancy. It's not something a guru has to do, or you have to sit in a specific posture or something, Meditation is anything that you mindfully practice in the now moment. Appreciation of everything, of the way you are, with all of your issues and problems and whatever you don't like about yourselves, inside or outside. Appreciate what you have. Appreciate everything about it. Sit with it. Sit with it and love yourselves. Very, very important. So this video is for David Foster Wallace, of course. And he's sitting right next to me here on the couch in his new incarnation. And he put all of this past him. The intellectualism, the word acrobacy and all of this. He doesn't need it now. But it's all good. When you have it, you do it, you practice it. If you're an artist like myself, you practice the beauty of color and shape. You play with it, you juggle with it, you enjoy it, you really live it. You live in that moment of it. You live in the moment of whatever you have as a form of expression. It could be dance, it could be singing. Whatever it is. I know that everyone can paint. Everyone can paint something. You can paint something, yeah? You have a hand. If you have hands, you can paint something. You can even paint with the mouth or with your feet, or you can paint. Made there computer programs for people who are like Stephen Hawking. They can paint in their thoughts, and the computer program will paint that for you. So you can show many different ways of expressing that what's inside of you, that what you have been wanting to say, whatever it is. If it's an expression of joy or criticism or activism, whatever, it's a message that you have for the world, you can express that. But most people are too afraid to do it. And why are they too afraid to do it? Because they think that they're going to be judged. They think that they're going to be harshly judged. And often we are. We are harshly judged. Yeah. And a lot of people are afraid of that. They're terrified of this. They feel like they will plunge into an abyss if that happens. But let me give you a total lifetime guarantee here. You're not going to plunge into an abyss. Okay. Life goes on. You are you, no matter what someone else says. And you have the right to express yourself. You have the right to make mistakes, whatever they are, whether they are just mistakes society calls mistakes, or whether they're mistakes that you call mistakes, or whether they're pseudo mistakes, or whether they caused a problem. It doesn't matter. We go through life. It's a trial and error. It's a constant probing forward. It's a constant testing things out, hypothesizing, then putting things to this test, questioning things, finding out, and moving forward with that. With this probing, with this experimenting on yourselves, not on others. Experiment on yourselves, whatever you're doing. And it's nice. And if you are not liked, or if people criticize you, it's not a problem. Let them do it. They are in resistance. That has nothing to do with you. Being in a state of resistance is really terrible. It's really, really terrible. I don't ever want to be in a state of resistance again. I mean, I get into states of resistance because I have phobias and OCD and all of this. But I become emotionally and intellectually very clear that being in a state of resistance is not going to move us forward. So, The Pale King by David Foster Wallace. I started this video yesterday at the other house, and my tablet needed to be recharged, which was a surprise to me because I had already charged it up. I guess they're getting old. The other tablet quit altogether. So now I have only one Nabi left, and I have a new Kindle Fire 8, and I still haven't figured out how to upload a video from the Kindle Fire 8 to YouTube. I tried. I made a real nice video and it did not upload to YouTube. I don't know why. What's going on? I tried everything. People said you need to get the YouTube app. I did. I got the YouTube app. I have it all set up and everything, but it says that you have not chosen an app. It doesn't make any sense, so I don't know what's going on. So if you know how to fix this, let me know. But anyway, I was for a long time not finished with what I wanted to say. So, and I always get into side notes and I sway off a little bit, but I don't sway off into something completely unrelated. I sway off into things that I find very important to mention as a side note, because it is incredibly important to dive into the psychology of these things. Very, very vitally important. So the psychology of why people would hate a little boy like that Leonard Starchek, who just wants to please and make everyone happy. Why would they hate him? Why would such hatred arise out of this, and such, extreme bullying and mistreating, and even to the point where they where they injured him, where he had to go to the hospital. So I don't even want to talk about that. I don't even want to mention this. So it's just too negative. It's just too horrible. It's brutal. It's really brutal. A lot of David Foster Wallace's stories are very the way he writes things in such detail, and he writes and he describes the bleakness and the ugliness and it like you can almost smell it, So there was a chapter after Leonard Starchek that I had to just browse through and be done with it, because I just couldn't read it really like in detail. It was about the trailer park situation where people were totally dysfunctional, and it's just so, that is where I have OCD, for example. That's where I am in resistance. I'm in resistance to dysfunction, like where people drink and smoke and take drugs. That's where my resistance comes in. It's just so bleak and so miserable and so, it's like it's worse than prison, like prison atmosphere, like this total bleakness of people's living situations. I mean, they ride themselves into bleakness. I have watched people in person, particularly in the other town where we have the other house. So when we go shopping, sometimes we always take turns. One waits for the other, and I watch people on the parking lots, and it is fascinating for me to see how people, against all odds, even against the most beneficial situation for them in the present time, like they're getting SSI money. Some people get $3,000. It's like, I don't have that money per month. And they manage to spend that money on things that are causing more misery for themselves. They really manage to ride themselves no matter what they have, no matter what. You could give a homeless person a house, which they're going to do in California, and it's not gonna work. Okay, it will not work. You're gonna see. It's not gonna work. First of all, it is gonna draw every homeless person in the country and from other countries to California. Okay, they're all gonna want a house. They're all gonna be entitled, right? Budget? Oh, we don't care about the budget. And the liberals are gonna say, they all deserve a house. Yes, they all deserve. Budget? What do you mean? What's a budget? I thought the money comes out of ATM machines or something. So it doesn't work that way. It does not. Even the bank can fabricate that kind of money for you, or that kind of, because what is money? What is it? It's gonna consist of people's labors. Yes. It's gonna consist of tremendous efforts that have to be put together, not just the money itself. So And it's I don't know what's gonna happen, but it can likely happen that California will lose the budget, and it will, completely dwindle economically, and it will be a total disaster. So some people, it wouldn't matter what they get, they will spend it on drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, fast cars, that they will then in 1 week they will total the car. It will be hauled away and going to a broken car lot, where they squish the cars. So it's like $100,000 completely squished and squandered. They will manage to do this. They will manage, no problem. So the real problem is not the poverty. That's not the real problem. It's not the outside circumstance. Even though it feels very solid, doesn't it? It's the outside circumstance. No, it is inside of the people. Okay. Wealth starts inside. I remember when I moved to LA from Germany, I didn't want to do it. I was afraid, but I wanted to go to our Journal Center to do primal therapies, and it was a lifesaver for me. It really was. So in LA, I did have my monies, my parents' money. I was able to rent an apartment, but only a small apartment, like a bachelor apartment. And I had nothing in there. I didn't have furniture. Maybe I had a mattress, that's all. And I kept everything totally to a minimum because I knew I was going to move again, and then I would have to haul stuff, and I didn't want to carry so much stuff. I also like minimalism. I like to not bog myself down with too much clutter. I don't like clutter at all. I already getting cluttered. No, that happens very fast. My husband, very, very, very. Something on sale, I gotta get it. So that's how it is. It's a hoarder characteristic. I call it the U.S. illness. So I don't have it that much. I'm from Europe. So it has to do with capitalism again. Karl Marx talked about it too. So, if they live in uncertainty like this, they tend to hoard. So, and that's what capitalism causes. It causes uncertainty. It causes all of these psychological problems, that go very deep. So, anyway, all of this ties in with this, all of that. It's mass psychosis, mass neurosis, mass religion. Religion is mass psychosis and neurosis. And then we have the antisocial personality disorders things, and the psychopathy and sadistic behavior, sadomaso, all of these kind of things, like what David Foster Wallace discusses in his novels and short stories. So, the pathology of many people that are suffering from that. And I'm trying to find out how can we approach this? How can we address this? What do we need to do to really understand it from the inside out? The pathology of I don't even want to call it deviant behavior, because they are called good behavior deviant too. So they're so messed up. So the whole society, but like cruel behavior, cruelty, okay, cruelty that people do to other living beings, animals or humans. I mean, so like what they did to that little boy in the novel. It's just a story, but again, it is, these kind of things happen in the world. It's not even that exaggerated. I would say it's not even exaggerated. These kind of things do happen in the world. I mean, it's amazing what kind of stuff happens in the world. The stuff that happens in the world is even more characteristic than the caricatures themselves. And we need to become very aware about it, because we can't be in denial about this, the extreme cruelty in the world. A lot of people get mad, they don't want to hear about it. What's negativity? You know, I was petitioning for the whales. There was this lady, she seemed to like animals, so I said to her, would you like to sign my petition? I was also at the other place. And she was very reluctant, because obviously she's a fundamentalist. I didn't know that, I found out later. Then things made perfect sense. So she said, fundamentalists are often like, I need to read it first. I don't trust it, you know. I don't trust it. What if... Okay, so I sent her the information on what's happening, that the US Navy is putting out these loudspeakers into the ocean that blast such a loud sound, it's like dynamite explosions, 240 plus decibels, that will shatter the eardrums of any mammal. It will kill a diver. So whales depend on their eardrums. They have very, very delicate and complicated and large eardrums. They depend on the slightest vibrations in the ocean. They communicate through around the whole globe with each other in the ocean. That's how delicate their hearing is. They cannot be blasted with those things. It can destroy their hearing. When they lose their hearing, they strand. But if they get even in a closer proximity of these sonar devices, that will blast their eardrums to the point where it hemorrhages. It destroys it. It explodes it. It explodes blood vessels. It hemorrhages them. It hemorrhages the blood vessels, and they bleed to death in their eardrums and lungs. What a cruel thing, okay? So I sent her that information. You know what she wrote back? She said, this is too negative, thus I don't believe it. Just like that. That's like, I never talk to her again. I don't even want to say hi to someone like this. If I see her somewhere, I'm sorry, I can't. I have to ignore that person. It doesn't work that way for me. I don't know, it's probably pathology. It's probably something that, like Dr. Robert Sapolsky said, that we don't have much of a choice in our neurology, that we're kind of like puppets of our own chemistry. But yes, but we do have a range of free will. We do have some. We can choose love over coldness. We can. And but this is my open discussion, this very subject, because I think it is important that we look into it, that we find out, is this total determinism of neurology, or do we have some range of freedom of will and choice? That is my question. I'm gonna leave this out there for you to help me with this, to put your mind into it and to let me know what you think about this. Do we have some freedom here? Can we choose between warmth, love, compassion on one side versus coldness on the other side? Can we choose? How does it feel? Are people so detached from this? They don't even feel it anymore? Is that what it is? They don't feel it anymore? That lady that said it's too negative, that she doesn't believe it? Does she understand that this is coldness? Is she aware of that? Maybe not. Maybe she thinks it's just all, you can just, like a little girl, close your hand over your eyes and say, nobody can see me anymore. Play hide and seek, and a 2-year-old girl will put her hands over her eyes and say, you can't see me anymore because I can't see you. But that's not. And then Esther Hicks will bring up some very dangerous messages, corporate messages for the world. Yeah. I like Esther Hicks. There's a lot of stuff that she says that is true. But again, just like Eckhart Tolle, she's not careful about how this is going to be misconstructed by other people. And that's also why Esther Hicks is being promoted big time by the corporate agenda, just as Eckhart Tolle, because this message, this dangerous message of making people complacent, is what the corporate agenda wants. That's the effect they want. Whether they intended that effect or not is another question. But the corporate agenda will support these kind of things. Whatever makes people complacent will be promoted with lots and lots and lots of financial support and commercialism and promotion and so on and so on. The people with a love message, they're going to be tucked away. They're going to cover those people up as good as they can. They don't want those people to come to the forefront in society. Someone like Captain Paul Watson, they want to keep him out of the media as much as they can. But it doesn't work that way. What he has done for the whales is so magnificent. And it's just one person in the whole world who has accomplished that. That doesn't go unnoticed, even if they try. But they try to hide anything that is kind. They want commercialism, the media has a lot of control over people's psychology, over people's minds, a lot of control over them. And they know that, and because of that, they are so eager, like Rupert Murdoch now, he had to resign. But the next one will come right in. It's not like you cut off some kind of, I have to watch the words I'm using. So it's not like you get rid of the mastermind and then it's like no one there to replace them. No, there's a whole lot of those masterminds of commercialism and corporatism. That's all they do all day long. That's all they're interested in. They live for that. They live for profit only. They live for maximization of profits no matter what the heck happens. No matter what. No matter what the consequences for any of this is. They live for this. They have their minds wrapped around that constantly, non-stop. How do we trick people? How can we How can we sneak this in or this message in? Oh, maybe we can use their shame, and maybe we can use their religious fears, and they will use everything all the way to the bone. You better believe it. You better believe it. So with this, and David Foster Wallace was also very, very aware about all of these things. And he has a love message for the world, and his brilliance didn't go unnoticed, of course. So people did buy the books, and also because he looks at things from two angles at the same time. He doesn't condemn anyone. He shows it the way it is. It's brutal. It is brutal because it is brutal. He shows it just the way it is. As brutal as it is. It is at its worst because he shows it as its worst. Because it is as its worst. It is worst. That's what it is. So we'll show it. You can't be euphemizing it and saying, oh, it's not a big deal. Oh, it is what it is. It's brutal. Okay? The little boys are being tortured, sometimes to death. Animals are tortured. I don't even want to say it. It is what it is. The violence is extreme. Most of those people are only one hair away from the violence because the last minute the prefrontal cortex says, hey, wait, you're going to go to prison. That's the only thing that stops them. And some of them, oh yeah, I would say maybe most of them worldwide, they have that religious thing. You're going to go to hell. Okay. That's what they think. Okay. So, oh, I don't want to go to hell, so I better not do this. But so in the Christian religion, I think they're afraid they'll go to hell if they hurt, rape a child or whatever. So that will be the only thing that will stop them from doing this, or the fear of going to prison. So, other than that, if that wasn't there, then they probably will do it, or I don't know. It's pitiful if there's no natural love ability, no natural internal kindness. But I want to dig into this a little deeper. I don't want to be stuck on the surface and say, like what my husband says, they're just simply bad people. That's what he was saying. That's not good enough for me. I'm not happy with that superficially stuck explanation. It's like saying what he always says to me. I know what the problem is with your grandfather. You and your grandfather had a personality conflict. You collided. Yes, we did, but that's not an explanation. That's just an observation. It's not the causality of it. I'm trying to get to the nitty-gritty of the causality. Why my grandfather hated me so much, or my mother. I don't think my mother hates me, but she hates certain behavior, the freedom that I have of mind. She hates that because she doesn't have that freedom. So I'm already digging deeper with my mother, but with my grandfather, I don't know. I have a hard time understanding men in general. It's easier for me to understand women because I am a woman and I deal with women. So I understand women because I understand all of these things, jealousy and falling in love and feeling abandoned and all of this stuff. With men, it's much more difficult for me to understand men. But I think the men work on a very similar principle also with, they just have different ideals. So their ideals are like to be respected. So that's like the number one thing in men is to be respected. And to want to be masculine, to whatever their belief is, it's just a belief about what masculine actually means, what it entails. What is that? Masculinity could be something very different according to different people. But what causes people to hate an innocent child who just wants to make everyone feel good? I've seen this also. I've seen this. It's not just a story. I've seen this in person. I've seen this on the internet. Boys and girls are harassed, bullied. Also sometimes adults, often teenagers. People are bullied when they are kind-hearted and innocent. An innocent person like Eric Jacobs, for example, innocently traveling with his cat through the country in a motorhome. Why are there so many people that hate him? When he's innocently traveling with his cat, living in a motorhome, being nomadic, enjoying his freedom, not having to work like he used to have, paying all of his money, all of the net income to pay his apartment off, and then having almost no money left. So yeah, he moved into a motorhome, he's traveling, he's happy now. Why is he hated? It's my question to the world. What is going on here? What's going on? What causes that hatred? What causes people? Let's really introspect. If you are one of those people who hate innocent people that just want to live their lives and be happy, what is it that makes you hate them? What is it? Is it what? I mean, let's really explore all these possibilities. What is it? Is it jealousy? Could be something else, but find out what it is. Find out. Don't just ignore this and cover it up or drug it away or whatever, or drink it away. But mindfully go into it. What is it? Get into it. What is it that causes you to hate Eric Jacobs or someone like that, or someone like that Leonard Starchak in David Foster Wallace's book The Pale King? What causes people to feel those emotions? Why would they hate someone with such rage? What is it? Is that good, kind-hearted person making them feel rotten about themselves? Is he pointing out that you are not like that? Is that what it is? I mean, they don't even mean to point anything out. It just points it out, I guess, by its own natural characteristics. It's a disturbance in homeostasis, So a person who is cruel in a cruel world will probably not be noticed much, right? But if there's a kind-hearted, innocent person coming into the picture, maybe then the cruel person suddenly sees that he is a total cruel asshole jerk. He sees the difference, so maybe the kind-hearted person points this all out unknowingly, unintentionally. So I don't know what it is. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Help me with this, because I need to find out. This is a lifetime searching for that answer. Why some people are so cruel to kind-hearted people. I mean, if someone is cruel to someone who is also cruel, I understand that. I totally understand. I totally get it. I totally follow, how that feels. I understand revenge. I understand all of this. It's still not going to make the world better, but at least I understand the emotion behind it. I can follow along the causality. But someone who hates someone who is an innocent little kind-hearted boy who is just trying to help everyone, trying to make everyone feel good, that I don't follow along. So I need some help with this. I need people to dive into themselves, and I need them to tell me what's going on. You can use a fake account so that no one knows who you are. Most people are already using fake accounts, and then they have to use another fake account because they have already been seen with that other fake account in that chat room, so they can't come to my channel now with that fake account that the other people already know, because then they could see, oh, you have been under Nicola's videos, whatever they will call him, so you must be a dork that you go to her, so it's like, so they're so afraid that they have to use one fake account after another with no video, nothing, this channel has no content, with a complete fake photo that a person got somewhere on Google. So why is that? Why are you so afraid, people? What is the, I don't understand. Why are you, what are you afraid of? That the other jerks in the chat room can say, ha ha ha, I saw you on her channel. and that will make you feel, disrespected. That's what you're running away from. And in the process of being afraid of being disrespected, you disrespect other people real badly. You go out there and you shame other people, right? And you use any push button that you can use that will hurt people's feelings. I mean, does it ever register with people that they're doing the very thing to other people that they are trying to avoid so rigorously every day? Let me tell you, let me give you a very good advice on this. Whoever is afraid of not being respected, if you want to be respected by society, the number one thing is, it's very easy. Don't disrespect and bully other people anymore. Okay, that's the very first step already. That's like howling out the bulk, howling up like that's like coming with U-Haul trucks and getting the moldy furniture out of your house. That's at the most massive step. The first step is to just not bully other people anymore and not shame other people anymore. That's the very first step if you don't want to be disrespected. Because a lot of people, most people will take revenge. Okay? If they feel disrespected, they'll take revenge on you. I've seen this also. And yeah, I can understand that it doesn't make the world better though. I talk about this all the time. If we want to make the world better, the peace starts with us. We have to be the one who says, I'm not pitching into this hate cycle anymore. But I'm trying to understand the people who inflict pain on innocent beings. On innocent beings that have never hurt you, never will. What is that? Where does that come from? So, because I really don't get it. I just can't. I can't. I don't follow. So I want to understand though, what is it? Is it that these people feel so incredibly, they feel like a loser or something? They feel so incredibly left out or something? I'm just trying to understand this. So that they feel so pathetic and so unseen and insignificant that they feel like they want to hurt someone else, and in that moment, maybe in that very moment, they feel like by being a perpetrator, a predator of some sort, that they can make someone else suffer, and they feel like that gives them a sense of power, or it's always a pseudo power, of course. It's never power, quite the opposite. It's unempowerment. Is it the pseudo power that your brain thinks is power, mistakes as power? Is that what it is? I'm trying to understand this. I really do. But what is this particularly with this little boy? Like there's something in this story that just hits my nerve. That's Leonard Starchek who's trying to. That's not just a simple case of some people picking some random person who doesn't defend himself. They picked on them